More late night shenanigans. Here she is. Want to read some more?
Want to read some more?
Not today. You're all leaving tomorrow, right? I'll be cheering for you. So I just... Oh no. I promised Miss Fabian I wouldn't cry.
I won't tell her.
It's all right. I won't tell her.
Papa was trying to stop a bad man, you said. And that's what you're all doing too, isn't it? Please come back home safe. I'll be waiting here as long as it takes.
It's a promise.
It's a promise.
All right. Promise? The next time I see you again, can you tell me more about the outside world?
This one's important.
Hey, Maria's waiting for us to return home and regale her with tales of the strange and distant places we visit. And we get a curative coney roast for it.
I never got a chance to say this to Papa. So, thank you. I'll go to bed now.
Captain, may I have a moment?
Good night.
I was hoping for a chance to speak before we set out. Since our meeting, I've done nothing but impose on you. Now you risk your very life for this cause. 'Tis no easy burden. It pains me to see. When I think of how this may yet save His Highness, I lose sight of all else. Such disregard ill becomes me.
She's talking like we didn't start out on this mission before we came across her. Truly devoted to him.
You truly are devoted to him, aren't you?
I suppose I am at that. A guiding oath of 12 years is not easily cast aside. But that book, we met once before, on a carriage bound for the capital. Do you recall?
It was her. I do?
Now that you mention it, I do.
My apologies. I thought only to minimize casualties one way or another. So, 'tis a novel envisioning an ideal world. Curious to see a utopian novel these days. I'd thought them long since banned. You needn't worry. I've no intention of taking it from you. I've sometimes wondered why such books were forbidden. Rumors say the Sanctists objected to their contents. Yet I wonder, how could a simple book have possibly stung them so? Do you mind if I read a passage or two?
Holy crap, they're covering so many social things right here.
So it is a fiction written as if a personal account. This chapter seems to concern the system by which the nation's leader is decided. In this country, one cannot become even a statesman, much less sovereign, without the consent of the people. Those who aspire to statecraft must first solemnly swear before the people what they will do in service of their country. Should they earn title but break their word, they are denounced and stripped of power. Such is the authority of the people. In this way, it is the people who are the land's true king. Quite the opposite of our own country. Now I see why our upper echelons would abolish such texts. Had our lands embraced such accountability, perhaps His Royal Highness would not have suffered such a fate. No. As a knight, 'tis not my place to say. I must clear my head of these fantasies. In the end, clinging to a dream will do me no good. Oh, I suppose 'tis not so bad to dream now and then. It takes power to walk the path of our dearest hopes. Perhaps that is the purpose of this newfound strength. My dearest dream 'tis to save His Highness, even at the cost of my life. Nothing more.
Ideals are what make us
Time
us.
marches on, and the age of a new king draws nearer.
That's a lot of hair.
Judah!
Lady Judah!
Bravo, bravo.
Even I'm feeling the heat. Well, I suppose it's time to fan the flames. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome one and all to the inauguration of the Tournament for the Throne! For the first time, the crown is anyone's to claim, as long as the aspirants can complete 3 grueling challenges.
Wow, a Sanctus Crier! He's perfect for this!
Let's discuss the venues. We kick off in the west, in the Pearl of the Coast, the Principality of Oceania's harbour city capital, Port Brilehaven. There, they face their first challenge, the Exhibition of the Brave. Each contender must bring back the head of a monster, a mark of their prowess and courage. Next, our would-be monarchs head east. Upon the misty peaks, we arrive in the Principality of Montario's beautiful city of faith, Altaberry Heights. And finally, our heroes make their well-deserved return home to Grand Trad. But first, let's do introductions. It's time to meet those risking their lives for the crown. Closest to the throne, I know him, you know him. It's Sanctism's one and only 78th Sanctifex, His Eminence, Forden!
Victory to Sanctifex Forden!
I claim no great ambition, nor any heated calls to action. All I wish is to restore order for our people and to safeguard our land from the threats beyond. This chaos we face is but one of God's many trials. Let us restore our kingdom's glory together!
Moving right along, we come next to His Eminence's champion, the very spear in his hand, the warrior monk captain of the Crown Theocracy, Master Giddo.
I come before you only in loyal service of His Eminence. I relinquish the throne to him gladly. But those who would seize the crown by force, I will teach you to fear God and to fear me!
So much for this being a fair competition. How many horses do the Sanctus have in this race? Still, it's not over by far. The Luis supporters won't take this lying down.
What cowardice, Friar! Where's Count Louise?
All right, settle down. At this time, I can report that Count Luis has not applied to enter the tournament.
What? He's not even entering?
Then what becomes of us? Our entire purpose in this race was to get closer to him.
Don't worry. He's definitely paying attention. He's only in second as it is, so we can't afford to ignore this whole production. Sit tight. I'm sure he'll make a move soon. All right. For those Count Luis supporters, you might want to meet our next entrant. A rising socialite, a man of ambition, godless and fearless, the brash young warrior serving Count Luis,
Oh,
Gladel, the Black Hound.
Him? So he was one of Luis's men.
The fallen king embraced Sanctism and all its holy tenets, and for what? He was nothing before Lord Luis. Look to the sky all you wish. No god can save you! What our country needs is power!
Well, it's not quite all the contenders, but let's get on with the introductions. The great liberal merchant, it's Roger Ward. By war, by conquest, by right, it's Rudolph Kraus. In it more for the gauntlet runners than the throne, it's Lena Caden. Sure to be popular by pledging free drinks for life, it's Loveless O'Shea. Uplifting the beautiful and deposing the hideous, it's Milo Maurizio.
Wow.
lose this? I think the country has some even bigger problems.
Now, I do believe we have one final candidate. Do we have an Elden boy present? Come on, let's see a face.
Silence.
What? An elder? Disgraceful. Is this the only way you could think to distinguish yourself?
Oh yes, let the slurs begin.
By the way, the ride you applied with still hasn't arrived. And if it doesn't show up by the time the noon bell rings, you're disqualified. All right?
Hey! What's going on?
That nitwit! What is he doing?
This'll be fun.
So, contestants, are you ready?
What? Last, I say! Wait! Found your behave!
A land runner?
It's quick!
Wait, it's headed right for them!
It'll crash!
Whoa!
Oh boy.
What the heck is that?
Wonderful. So much for a first impression.
What ho? Isn't he a marvel, chums?
You don't! You nearly brought down the cathedral! Have a care, you fool. It was bad enough when Luis did it the first time. That feckless, shameless old fool.
Not bad, kid. Guess you've got some interesting tricks up your sleeve after all. Right! I'd call that a full roster. Ladies and gentlemen, race across the land. Go! Prove yourself worthy and earn your crown. For the people, for the throne. Let the games begin!
We must take to the road.
Come on! So fast! Gotta hold on to something or I'll get blown up!
It's incredible!
I like it. Hey! Got more support. I ended up standing out more than I expected. I've gained a lot of interest, but I only consider this a part of my mission to aid the prince.
Just a sec!
Whoa, what's with this thing? Is this our carriage?
Can you hear me?
Shall I just run her along the main road then? The others seem to be doing as much. You're just as crazy as this runner. I'll take that as a compliment, little lady. Now let's have some coordinates for a little test run. Why is this a test run? What's happening right now?
See.
We want to go to a place called Martira, Old Castle Town, I think. Should be a ways south. Holy days. Okay.
Hold
What
on.
if?
Hold on.
Requests are this one. Alright. So we need to go back. That is the kidnapper one. What's this one? Man's not so best friend. That's what I need to do for the bounty. 2 bounties. And this one I need a gunner. Which is probably gonna come from this guy. Okay. I am not ready to go yet.
Nice.
Do we have to? Oh, we have to go.
Let's see.
Let us hurry.
Okay, given the vantage point it provides, should be a safe resting spot. Do we have to go one at a time?
This place here.
Let us.
It might be worth it.
See here.
Let's first camp on the road. Oh no, we can't stop at the camps.
This.
Wow.
All right. Off to Mortira. Down to Mortira, eh? On this craft's legs? Oh, I'd say that'll be 4 days, 3 nights about.
Oh.
Okay, 4 days and 3 nights. That's a great deal faster than a carriage, and surely the roads will be safer at that kind of speed. Bolly good. Now cinch those britches, chaps. Full steam ahead to Mortira, Old Castletown. Don't even know this guy's name yet.
This is amazing! I don't know a thing about gauntlet runners, but even I can tell this is a hell of a craft. I can hardly believe she's ours to drive.
You're telling me, lad? Feels like ages since I've been out on the open road. This girl's been waiting long enough for her time to shine.
So this is what you use to talk with the driver. Convenient, that. Look, old fellow, are you really on our side? You realize we don't have funds to pay you.
Money? Ha! I'm not in this for the money, boy. What I want is a little gusto. What do you think, lad? Isn't this a rush?
It is at that. Like riding the wind.
That's the ticket. It's been so long since I've had a good chinwag.
Brilliant, isn't it?
Is it safe? You did crash it into the cathedral.
Is this really safe?
Fast enough to make you edge your waders, eh? I know. She's the quickest I've ever built. Where to, ladies? The world is our shellfish.
You certainly are a different person behind the wheel.
Hey, Hulkenburg! Can we get an explanation yet?
Please?
That man is Neuras. An Ishkia, if 'twas not obvious from the wings. And despite everything, he was heir to a noble house and personal machinist for the royal family.
What?
He's a master engineer, of course, positively peerless. But as you can see, the runners get him a bit excitable.
Noble District, Underhall.
Neuras? Are you there? I'm coming in. Even amidst all this commotion in town, I find you buried in your work.
Too much to do.
As always. To business then. I must ask a favor. Would you be able to ready a carriage for me?
No new commissions. No time for them. Ask another right.
It is not a new one I require. Before His Highness disappeared, did you not accept a contract to build him a custom carriage? Without a formal owner, I reasoned that it must now lie unused. I was hoping I might borrow it a short while.
But, pish and tosh, woman. She is for royal use and naught else.
'Tis an unreasonable request, I know. But I'd not be asking without a grave need. Might I at least see it?
I mean, well,
'Twas specially made for His Highness, yes? Not a work you'd have sold off. Where lies it now?
I've deadlines to meet, dash it. Off with you now. Leave me be.
You've been acting stranger than usual. What ails you?
Whoa!
Oh?
Good God. Is this a gauntlet runner? The very craft commissioned for His Highness the Prince? Even knowing His Highness was gone, still you toiled away. Oh, Neuras, you are an inspiration. Such nobility of purpose.
Yes. Right.
However, for a craft meant for the royal family, it is rather excessive, isn't it? Did you really build this vehicle exactly to their orders? You cannot mean...
I like this guy.
Well, at first, certainly. I followed the blueprints exactly. But then His Highness died, and Well, I couldn't just let the old girl waste away. A masterpiece like her, collecting dust in storage? No! Unacceptable! Unthinkable! I'm working toward a dream. And this poor old girl is going to help me see it through. And then, finally...
You imbecile! A lowly, brazen court engineer butchering His Highness's inheritance for a hobby! For this mania! You embezzled the royal treasury and disrespected his legacy! Treason!
Mercy, please! Look, take my head if you must, milady, but leave the Balliol runner alone.
Look, this runner... it is fully operational now, is it? Then I suggest you cooperate, for both our sakes. Finish your tinkering by tomorrow and bring it to the Grand Cathedral as soon as you can.
Eh? What's all this now? You play the proud soldier at me and then pluck it for your own schemes?
Tis no scheme. I would use it for His Highness's sake.
For His Highness, eh?
Oh.
Hold a tick. Haven't you been looking for him? Wandering across God knows where, last I heard. So if you're back now and now you want a gauntlet runner for His Highness, is His Highness still alive? That's it! I've got you, haven't I?
'Twas His Highness who gave you refuge while you were only a heretical scholar condemned by the Sanctists.
The time has come to repay his mercy.
Understood.
I'm confused.
Is that enough? Can this old duck really handle an undercover operation?
I'm super confused why Hulkenburg was so unsure about this. Is it because that guy, what's his name? The pilot dude is just eccentric? Or another reason? Because as soon as that popped out of the woodworks, that looked pretty awesome to me.
I know what you're thinking, but 'tis at least true that he feels an undying debt of gratitude to the royal family.
Pish and tosh, boy. A little faith. Not to brag, but this old duck's craft might be the fastest gauntlet runner in the kingdom. Why, probably the world. I think. Maybe.
How encouraging.
All I want is to push this runner as far and as fast as she can go. Show her off to the world. And you? Well, I presume you'd rather work together than have to walk, eh?
I don't know about this, but I guess we'll just have to trust him. What do you think?
If we die together.
Well, if we die, we all die together.
Ha! The boy's bold as brass.
'Tis not an invitation, you dolt. Eyes on the road.
Either way, he knows the prince is alive, so we can't just leave him to his own devices. We're all in the same boat. Or runner, I guess.
You lot can handle the fighting, and I'll handle all the driving and greasework. Just make sure you've got a proper plan for all this mess now.
This guy's got no filter. But he has a point. We do need to talk strategy.
So, summing up. Our first trial is to slay a monster. We take its head as proof, then get it to the goal line before the deadline. The bigger the head, the better. Our destination is Port Brialhaven, the capital of the Western Principality of Oceania. It'd be a trek on foot, but this gauntlet runner should make it a snap.
So getting the bounty's head is our next move. And our target is a nefarious criminal who's been kidnapping and selling off children. Right?
A criminal? Did the task not specify a monster's head?
Don't worry, all part of the plan. We don't need to win this thing. We just need to get Luis's attention. Everyone's going to show up with monster heads, and we shake things up with a felon. A knight-turned-kidnapper at that. Shows them we're there for justice.
But to deliberately violate the rules, we risk being disqualified entirely. Then again, 'tis just as likely to win the people's attention and thereby Luis's. I do understand the intent. What do you think of this plan?
It's perfect. No, it's not. I trust you all, because I have no idea what I'm doing.
I trust all of you completely.
Good enough for me. A captain's got to trust his crew, after all. The bounty's Heismay, an ex-knight. I realize that's a little close to home, Hulkenburg, so if you'd rather hang back...
No. His title is precisely why I cannot let his atrocities stand. And yet... 'tis strange indeed that we are hunting a mere man when the trial demands a monster. Then again, our true aim is beyond the ambitions of any other aspirant. Our fate rests in this plan of yours, Strohl.
Thank you. I'll try to ensure your trust isn't misplaced.
And the days are whooshing away.
Righto. Then our course is set. Feel free to use anything in the Gauntlet Runner. Even got a bathing room if you could use a wash.
Good to know. We can always look around more thoroughly later.
Yes. You needn't tire yourself out before we arrive.
Well, I'm a tinkerer and not much else. All my fighting happens in the old workshop. But I'll take you wherever you're going for your sake and mine. After all, the wilds out there are no berry picnic. Oh, no. It's a den of wild beasts and savage scoundrels. And we'll not get past it without days on the road together. So, if you need anything besides a steady hand on the wheel, give me a hoot. Bound to find me in the cockpit or the engine room.
He's certainly an eccentric, but he doesn't seem like a bad person. We'll get used to him, I suppose.
Oh, we got some more music change. All right. The Gauntlet Runner has various areas for different activities, such as the strategy room, the lounge, and the kitchen. You can also visit Academia by finding more and interacting with them. Let's visit the engine room first. Take your time and have a look around. I've never been in a Gauntlet Runner. Kinda want to see what the engine room's like. Is he up top? Okay, the runner makes a smooth ride at least. Certainly earned his title as court engineer. That said, I'm more concerned with its unseen workings. I do hope he hasn't made any dubious additions. Okay, cockpit appears to be up there. Mind the rope, lad. Wouldn't want you going overboard. Oh, can't talk to him yet. What's this? The door leads to the end of the Gauntlet Runner. Okay. Can we talk to him from here? Apparently, Neuras can speak to us from the cockpit through the bent metal tube. The carriage can't begin to compete with the Gauntlet Runner's speed. I suppose they've earned their reputation. Though I'm in constant fear of losing my lunch. It's far from ideal, but once I'm used to it, I'm sure the journey will be pleasant. Got some motion sickness. What is a table? Maps? Oh, fancy.
Let's see here.
Where are we at right now? Halfway to the first site. Okay. We have a ladder. Oh, that's that ladder. That's this ladder. Sure, let's head up to the deck. Whoa! This is really cool. Just got 2 legs. Can't get to the back from here, and he is just having the time of his life up there, huh? This is quite the Gauntlet Runner, though the driver makes me a little nervous. Oh, there are little demon things? What are those? Okay. So what else do we have? That's the pantry. There's some pristine clear water and more coney meat. I wonder who left them here. Okay. We're raiding the fridge a bit. Alright. Good old submarine beds and the back deck. It's back here. It's got a tail, huh? Oh, what is in the barrel? Beneath the cloth, there seems to be a big barrel. I wonder what it's used for. Keeping me from getting to the other side, apparently. This is an awesome steampunk machine. I like it. Okay, lots of books lined up. That's it. That is the galley, it looks like. And we can cook in here. Alright, Hulkenburg said that most things are edible if you put them over a fire, but is that really true? That is definitely a soldier mentality. We can prepare meals in the kitchen. Okay, we got a bunch of food. We have more food. And then this takes me to the engine room. Is that it for up here? Oh? A washing machine. Handmade by Neuras. Seems there's nothing in it at the moment. Okay, I wonder what we're going to be washing. Okay, we need to go that way, so I'm going to... Oh, there's more. We found more. There's not a whole lot I need to do in academia, though. What is this? A small cabinet. Oh, this is Neuras' room. Okay, yeah, there's a shirt. What's this? Maybe not now. Cleaning tool. He made his own everything. A bag of cotton. If I sat on it, I don't think I'd be able to move. I've never smelled this fragrance before. Can't tell whether it's used for food or for fuel. Pile of powder. I really want to know how this thing is running. Okay, we got the ladder, and I guess we're going into the engine room. Oh boy. It's a heart. Wonder what makes this thing run.
Hello?
First time on a gauntlet runner, eh? Oh, that scared me. Looks like that pipe's in here, too. Call the runner phone. There's one in every room. Now, I believe I heard you speculating on the old girl's inner workings. Gauntlet runners use magla crystals as fuel to run, you see. Used to be you'd take your life in your hands when you traveled the wilds. Then, thanks to the kingdom's greatest minds, the Gauntlet Runner was born. The runner's actual legs are based on a colossal beasts, made for zero momentum loss, even on the roughest terrain. Among other things, I've modified this craft with a bit more zip and speed. Another step closer to my dream. What dream? Long story, my girl. Best told to a captive audience with no plans for the next few days and nights. Never mind then. Maybe some other time. Anyway, still plenty about the old girl that's a work in progress. By the time I'm done, she'll have some new tricks. You just watch. It'll be sunset before long, so start thinking about bedding down for the night. Can't run in the dark, and the old girl needs her rest as much as we do. Okay, Gauntlet Runner activities. You can utilize its facilities to obtain items, raise abilities, or do other things you wouldn't be able to do in town. Try using the kitchen, reading books at the bookshelf, or using the washing machine. More activities will be available over time. You can also spend time with your allies while traveling. Alright, I think it's time to do some catching up with allies. A large igniter. Okay, it uses magla crystals as fuel. What is this? I've never seen an igniter like this before. Igniter, question mark? We'll never know. It's quite the engine. Okay. Do the power... I don't want to do this right here. Okay, whatever. A fledgling who had taken a mere single step. Okay, we shall judge if thou art worthy to be a vessel of our power. Gotcha. That was the wrong button.
All right, then.
What do we have? We have... I don't know what that is. What is this question mark thing down here? Books? Oh, and it's a whatever for one of the, gotcha.
All right,
the virtues. Huh. Okay, what about Hulkenburg?
Speaking of,
Neuras said he got the kitchen up and running. If you're hungry, would you fancy a meal? I hardly consider myself a chef of any great skill, but Strohl said he wanted to try some of the recipes he learned at the Hushed Honeybee. Alright, and Strohl's dying. Poor guy. Feel drunk. Don't you vomit here. I'll survive. I can handle the swaying of a carriage, but this, it's another beast. Seems I'll need to learn to endure it. Poor guy. Okay, what do we got? Didn't realize how long it's been since we took a well-earned break. What are you trying to do here? Probably supporters. Doesn't seem like anybody has anything important to say. Okay. So, we can cook. What does this give me? Or book. New World, Pride and Persuasion. Okay, hold on. We got 2 books. Let's do Pride and Persuasion here. The book outlines useful conversational techniques for convincing others. I haven't started it yet. Yours probably left this here, huh? Let's take it over to the window if you want to read it together. That gives me eloquence. And the other book, which is New World Travel Diary, appears to be a fictional chronicle of a boy's journey in a fanciful place called the New World. I haven't started reading it yet. And that gives me imagination. Okay, so as far as that goes, details and virtues. Okay, eloquence barely has anything, and imagination is kind of there. I'll end up doing both at some point probably, but I think I want to get imagination going and get that to level 2.
Actually?
To be honest with you, I've realized something. There are so many things in this world which, very simply, I don't understand. There are so many things I've learned since we started traveling together. You've matured.
Now we're talking.
You've really matured.
What?
What are you saying? That I was immature before? It's not like you knew any more about the world than I did. Hey, I know this time we're traveling for our mission, but if all goes well, I want to go on another journey where I'm free to do what I want. Maybe I'll write a book about it.
So then...
Sweet!
Good idea. Just make sure to include me as co-author, alright? Of course, if I want to contribute further to whatever you do in the future, I'll have to keep working hard. Well, can you think of anything I can do to help you out? Teach me more, I guess. Teach or encourage? She seems more like a cheerleader type, right? So, encourage me.
Well then.
I'll be happy as long as you're cheering me on.
What?
That's all you want? Well, I can do that, no problem. That's what I'm good at. Hey ho, let's go. Hey hey all the way. What do you think? Was that good? This conversation kind of went off in a unique direction, huh? Let's keep reading the book for a bit. It describes a new world. If a place other than this really exists, I'd like to visit it someday. Okay, imagination has expanded. Looks like we got 1 or 2 more imagination sessions to get to level 2. There's still more left to read in this book. Alright, good.
The Gauntlet Runner arrives at the desert camp as the scorching sun sinks below the horizon and the curtain of night falls over the land. Protected within the stalwart hull of the Gauntlet Runner, the party gains a short, peaceful respite.
Okay, first desert camp. At night, the vast wilderness outside town is ensconced in darkness. Forcing your way through the unmarked terrain is very dangerous, even with a stalwart gauntlet runner. Instead, establish camp somewhere safe. You can resume your travels the next morning. While at an encampment, you can use any of the facilities on the Gauntlet Runner like usual, but you can also reminisce about your journey with your allies. Give it a try. Okay, 3 more days. Our first time camping in the Gauntlet Runner. I'm kind of excited. But it'll be a long night, so why not spend some time relaxing with someone? Okay, what do we have? We have... looks like imagination. And more imagination. Okay. Let's talk to everybody and see what they're up to. How's that ride, eh? Smooth as butter? Luxurious as a palace? Awe-inspiring? Tear-jerking? Absolutely. This runner's such a guilty pleasure. Though credit where it's due, my tinkering certainly helped make her what she is. Though full disclosure, that's all thanks to a little mechanism I whipped together that keeps her legs from sinking into the dunes. Wouldn't have to worry about the terrain if she could just fly, but that's a story for another day. Off you go. Better get your 40 winks. What's this? Insects gathering by the campfire. Apparently you can eat these bugs. Well, according to Hulkenburg, anyway. I should try and catch one. We got a Luma bee. When it's my turn to cook, I should use it as an ingredient. Alright. You looking for something to do? My weapons are as sharp as they're going to get, and I'm not up to much. Care to keep me company for a while? By recalling the past and planning for the future with Strohl, maybe I can hone my imagination. Yeah.
Now then.
So next up is Martira. It feels like just yesterday when I first arrived in the royal capital. So much has happened in such a short span of time. I met you, we went over to the northern fortress and awakened a mysterious power. I'd once thought magic like this only existed in heroic tales of times long past. I've been thinking that perhaps this is the same power that the Hero Kings once used. If that's the case, then why do you think so many of them met miserable ends? Well, if we go off what Moore said, they had no allies.
What's that about?
Maybe they lacked allies.
Oh, I see.
Try as they might, even the strongest king wouldn't be able to establish a country by himself. Perhaps it's not a matter of how much power you have, but how you choose to wield it. Moreover, we've got more than one power at our disposal, and on top of that, we've got allies who share these abilities as well. If we continue to master these archetypes, then maybe, just maybe, we'll be able to surpass the great hero kings of old. Though all this does make me wonder, just how many more of these powers are still out there? And my imagination grows. So close. Come now, it's too early for bed. Let's talk some more. Strohl and I talked for a while.
Time marches on, and the age of a new king draws nearer.
Day 2.
Good morning.
Top of the morning to you, my dear passengers. I trust that the sleeping quarters more than exceeded your expectations.
True.
Eh? They were better than I feared, considering how tiny they are. But I've got a question of my own. Isn't the desert sand going to do a number on this runner? My boy, remember who maintains this rugged girl. Nary a grain of sand could fit between her seams, I assure you. Regardless, we'll be leaving these arid dunes behind tomorrow.
I knew it!
Wow, runners really are neat, aren't they? A carriage would never be able to get through the desert this fast. But just keep an eye on the road, okay, Neuras? Back to our running music. Okay, we got 2 days left. Oh, we got courage. Okay. I think I'm still level 1 on courage, too. Alright, Strohl, what is this courage stuff you have going on? Good timing. I was about to do some maintenance on my weapons. If you've got the time, why not join me? It's as refreshing for the mind as it is for our battles. Cool. Improved courage. Sure do. Let's have a look at your blade then.
Got a moment?
I think I'm getting ahead of myself here, but after things settle down, I'd like to live without the sword. I admire the idea of a world where monsters and senseless violence don't exist, where nothing is taken from you by others. That's why, one day, I want to restore my ruined hometown to its former glory. And not just mine, all the ruined hometowns.
Hey!
How about you? I've shared my plan, let's hear yours. What'll you do when the fighting's over? I want to travel.
So that means...
Oh, I see.
To go where the winds take you, I take it. That does sound nice. I've got to get stronger. Even if the village gets rebuilt, it's all for naught if it's attacked by monsters again. I want to be strong enough to rid this country of monsters, not leave it to a spineless army and its incompetent generals. They only have the power to kill those who oppose them. They have no desire to protect their people, just like Luis. We'll fight for change.
Look at that.
I want to do something about that too.
Yeah.
I agree, but seeing the state of our country's army, I'm all the more glad you're our captain, truly. You resolved to stand on the front line of our fight, so it's only right that you lead. Our fight, I say. I forced my way into your mission.
Hey.
I envy you sometimes, you know. To act with such conviction, how does one become so bold? I just do whatever. I do what I must.
Yeah.
I'm only doing what needs to be done, one step at a time.
Right.
Easier said than done. I get so fixated on the past, I lose sight of the present sometimes. You always look forward, and that's what I envy about you. All this to say, I have faith in you. We've more battles ahead, and I'll be counting on you to get us through them. In the end, the king will be determined by what the people think of as justice. They're free to make their choices, but so is the one being chosen. I wonder who it'll end up being after all this. Anyway, this sword is shining like new. Let's finish this up. Alright. Get some courage. Making progress there too. Okay, spent some time with Strohl holding weapons and got a ton of mag for it. Good.
I say, we could stop
Ahoy.
for a break.
Break time, chums. There's something up ahead, so we'll be stopping there.
Coming now into view is the Tree of Prophecy, a resplendent tapestry of color against the backdrop of the bleak desert. One theory is that the tree's roots gorge on the land's magla, and still another is that it gorges on those enraptured by its colorful foliage, as though themselves snared by the bewitching magla surrounding the tree. The gauntlet runner comes to a stop at its base.
Okay. Here we are. Shall we get a closer look? Tree of Prophecy. That is gorgeous.
Wow.
It's so pretty.
That's...
It's not just the leaves. It's as though the whole area has been painted red.
Certainly.
This place calls to mind a picture book I read as a child. It told of a great tree located somewhere within the country, whose colors shifted to foretell unusual events in the times ahead. How exactly would a tree foretell the future? And how does a plant grow this huge in the middle of a desert? I'm not sure if this explains it, but I am sensing an incredible amount of magla in the air here. If your hypothesis is correct, that would make this no mere tree, no sir, but a magical organism that feeds off of magla. As a matter of scientific research, I must document this discovery. Neuras pulls out a paper and brush from his pockets and begins to draw the landscape.
Hey!
Wow, Neuras, how did you get so good at drawing? Ah, my boy, meticulous documentation is the foundation of all good research. There you have it. I'm finished here. Take it. As a keepsake. You're giving it to me? Sure I can have this?
Yeah.
Yes, of course. I've already committed it all to the safety of my mind. I have no need for the sketch itself anymore. Interesting. I received Neuras' research picture. The drawing is intricately detailed and could accurately convey the full majesty of this place to a viewer who has never been here.
Hey there!
Why don't we give that to Maria? I bet she'd love to see something from our journey, and we could tell her a story about this place. Good idea.
Huh?
A magical organism in the form of a tree. Say, aren't fairies in the same classification? Precisely. Gallica is a most precious treasure as well. I've been observing her very closely, which is giving me great insight to my own research into flight.
Huh?
What? You've been observing me this whole time? I don't recall you asking, so knock it off.
However,
Turning our attention back to the tree, I've heard that it tints itself blue to herald the arrival of favorable developments. I wonder what manner of anomaly its current color portends. Well, blue is good, red is probably not good. Oh, we got some wisdom points, though. Nice.
The Gauntlet Runner arrives in a quiet clearing, concealed by boulders. As darkness reclaims the wilderness for itself, monsters run rampant in the wilds. To sleep here would be perilous, unless from within the safety of a Gauntlet Runner. The party, secure in their Gauntlet Runner, spends the night in peace, hidden from hungry gazes.
We're at the Rock Den camp. Campsite number 2. We'll be in Martira the day after tomorrow. I wonder what kind of place Martira is. Alright, oh, we got imagination! Grand Trad could dazzle even the darkest night. Out here, you can barely see the horizon. It's a comforting reminder of home, if I'm honest. I just couldn't appreciate it from a swaying gauntlet runner. You feeling better now?
Yeah.
Yeah, I ate a bit, and that helped. I almost envy Hulkenburg's ability to eat anything. Anytime, anywhere. I haven't always been this weak, but the swaying takes me back to times I'd sooner forget. After I lost my home, I was tossed between relatives, and each time, it began with an agonizing journey in a rocking carriage. I suppose that's why I find my mind often drifting to Halia. Halia? I often wonder how the people who survived are faring now. Okay, before we get to that, hold on. There's no one to talk to inside. Okay, we don't know where our lovely pilot is. Are the ropes off, though? Hold on. Can I go up to the cockpit now? Wrong way. Okay, I haven't been to the watchtower. Hold on. Oh, this would have been awesome during the travel during the day. Can I talk to things? Nope. And then, where did he go? Is he hanging out in his room down here? Huh. He's just kind of... Oh, there he is. What's that one? I forgot what that one is.
What now?
Details. This magnifying glass is wisdom. Okay. I think get imagination to level 2.
All right,
So
then.
let's head to
Let's head there right away.
deck and talk to Hulkenburg.
Well met.
Oh. Certainly no stranger to traveling. I don't know, what did she say before? I skipped. I don't suppose you're as overburdened with free time as I am. Okay. I have no idea how to spend idle hours. If the idea appeals, might we talk a bit? For imagination. Not right now. Is there something, like a bug, that I can get off the fire? It's red. A dream eater moth. Okay.
Well met.
Alright, let's do this. Talk with Hulkenburg. This power we've awoken to. I've all sorts of questions, but what I really find curious are these forms we take on. Each has their unique aspects, but one bit they all have in common is their armor-like appearance. What do you make of that? I think it's pretty cool.
Certainly.
It looks cool.
I see.
I do find the austerity of the designs intriguing, but I was not speaking on how they look per se. In my opinion, the armor encloses the raging forces within us, allowing us to direct that power as one directs a horse by its reins. It is said people lose their magic because they refuse to confront their fears and anxieties, forever unaware of that power lurking within them. Is that not then the very condition to awaken our slumbering power? Also, hence why is it so exhausting and why it cannot be maintained for too long? The ravenous appetite I had afterwards is proof. We do well to practice diligence maintaining our food reserves. Aha. Sounds like she eats anything and everything in the first place, but...
Now then.
Level 2, I'm inspired.
Imagination.
It is one of the virtues a ruler must possess. If true sovereignty... I have been saying this wrong the whole time, and I can't remember how they say it when they say it out loud. Sovereignty. There we go. Sovereignty is thy aspiration. Furnish thyself with the creativity to bring the ideal world of thy thoughts to fruition.
Why, that's...
A conqueror needs that precious kindling. Followers' passions inflamed. Okay. It's getting quite late, but we've a ways to go yet, so I would very much like to continue chatting with you. Reading books in my brain, just not out loud, for my whole life, and then trying to read these out loud for the video game recordings. Man, oh man. Trying to reconcile what I have
Time marches on.
heard in my
and the
brain
age of the
compared to
new
how it
king
actually
draws
sounds
nearer.
is an adventure for sure.